Many people believe faith is a warm feeling, a kind of positive emotion that shows up when life is good. But what if I told you that real faith has nothing to do with feelings? In fact, faith often comes alive precisely when you feel nothing at all, when strength is gone, when everything around you screams impossible. The paradox is this: the less you feel like believing, the more vital it becomes to choose faith. And here's the controversial part. Faith is not about sitting still, waiting for something to fall from the sky, nor is it about repeating positive affirmations as if they were magic spells. Real faith is action. It is standing up when the ground shakes, letting go of control, and still taking the right steps. It's courage moving against the logic of fear. Maybe you've tried everything and still feel stuck. But what if I showed you that faith can begin with something as small as a seed, and yet transform your entire life? Stay with me until the end, and you'll see why even the smallest faith has the power to bring down giants and open paths where none seem to exist. Faith is not a fleeting emotion. It is a decision. It's like signing a contract with God and yourself, committing to believe even when evidence says otherwise. Too many wait for a special feeling to act, but faith acts first. It is the courage to step onto a road you can't fully see, trusting that the way will unfold as you walk. Choosing to rest instead of worrying is already an act of faith. Think of all the sleepless nights wasted trying to control what isn't in your hands. Faith is like trusting the pilot of an airplane. You don't need to understand the cockpit to sit back and let him fly. That moment you release the need for control and surrender is when faith becomes real. Imagine someone holding onto a rope with desperation. Faith is when they release it, believing something better is on the other side. It's not passivity, it's action. Faith chooses, releases, and steps forward. And in that release, it reveals a deeper power waiting to be discovered. Faith is like a seed, and Jesus used the mustard seed as an example for a reason. It was one of the smallest seeds, yet it could grow into a tree strong enough for birds to rest on. The lesson is clear. It's not the size of your faith that matters, but your willingness to plant it. The unseen beginnings are often where the greatest transformations happen. Small acts of faith in daily life are like planting seeds. Saying thank you in difficult circumstances, getting out of bed when fear is heavy, or making a decision based on spiritual values, all of these are ways of sowing faith. Just like farming, you don't see results instantly, but if you keep watering, the harvest comes. Never underestimate the small gestures. The beauty of a seed is this: though fragile, it contains the power to break through hard soil. Faith is the same. What looks insignificant today can reshape your future tomorrow. The challenge is to keep watering, even when nothing seems to sprout. And that's when faith reveals another surprising dimension. The Red Sea story is one of the clearest pictures of faith-breaking barriers. Imagine standing before a raging sea, with an enemy army behind you. Every calculation says this is the end. Yet, in that exact moment, faith turned the impossible into a road. Moses didn't know what would happen. He simply obeyed, and the sea opened. Life brings us to those Red Sea moments too. No doors open, no clear way forward, pressure closing in. Faith in those times isn't logical. It's like believing in dawn during the darkest night. And suddenly, a door appears where there was only a wall, an opportunity no one saw coming. This kind of faith isn't blind optimism. It sees the problem and still believes. Like the entrepreneur who risks on a dream when everyone says it's doomed, or the spouse who chooses to believe in restoration when love seems gone. Faith not only opens paths, it unveils possibilities hidden by fear. And this leads us to another side of faith: its power to anchor us in storms. Picture a ship in the middle of a storm. The waves crash, the wind howls, but the anchor keeps the vessel from drifting away. That's what faith does in times of crisis. It doesn't stop the storm, but it prevents you from being carried off by fear. The key is where you drop your anchor. I remember a personal season of deep insecurity. Everything around me screamed failure, and fear whispered constantly in my ear. But when I made the decision to trust, something shifted inside. The storm didn't disappear, but peace settled in my heart. The anchor didn't remove the water, but it kept me from sinking. Faith doesn't cancel crises, it steadies you through them. Like standing on a rock in the ocean, you can withstand the chaos if your foundation is firm. That stability is what equips you to face challenges that look like towering mountains or intimidating giants. Faith often meets mountains and giants. Mountains are obstacles that feel immovable. Giants are problems so intimidating they make us feel small. Most people measure the size of the problem and retreat, but faith shifts the perspective. It looks not at the obstacle, but at the one who is greater. Think about the modern giants, crushing debts, frightening diagnoses, dreams that feel unreachable. Faith doesn't deny these exist, it simply believes they can fall. Just as David stood before Goliath with no human chance of winning, faith believes victory isn't about our strength, but about who stands with us. And here's the irony. The giant doesn't always fall through sheer force, but through courage to take the first step. David's stone represents those small acts, launching the business, making the call, choosing not to give up. Small actions guided by faith slay overwhelming problems. And it's through these tests that faith grows stronger, like a muscle under pressure. Faith isn't born from thin air. It's nurtured. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word builds the inner life. Like a muscle, the more it's exercised and nourished, the stronger it becomes. It's not about collecting inspiring quotes, but about letting eternal truths shape your mind and steady your spirit. But trials also play their part. Challenges aren't failures. They're the gym where faith trains. A closed door, an unanswered prayer, or a delay are weights pressing against the soul. And just like the athlete grows stronger by resistance, faith matures in the pressure of trials. This mix of word and testing produces unshakable faith. Those who've walked through fire and still stand understand this strength. They know faith isn't fragile, it's proven in storms. Yet even the strongest have moments when doubt knocks at the door. Let's be honest, everyone wrestles with doubt. Even the confident face moments of fear and hesitation. Faith doesn't mean never questioning, it means moving forward in spite of questions. It's like walking across a shaky bridge, heart racing, yet still crossing because you trust it will hold. Most people think they need huge faith to overcome fear. But Jesus said even faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. That means it's not about volume, but authenticity. A whispered prayer, a decision not to quit today, or a step forward in weakness, all of these are powerful acts of faith. And here's the beauty, faith grows in these tiny choices. Doubt isn't failure, it's part of the journey. What matters is not letting it freeze you. Every time you act despite uncertainty, you discover a strength beyond yourself. And that discovery is where transformation truly begins. Now the question is, what will you do with this? Faith is not theory, it's daily decisions. What small step can you take today that shows you trust in something greater? Maybe it's surrendering a worry in prayer, making a bold decision for your future, or simply choosing rest instead of anxiety. So let me ask you, what's your mountain right now? What giant has been staring you down? You don't need perfect certainty to face it, just enough faith to move. Even fragile faith is still faith, and it can change everything. If this message stirred something in you, don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next lessons that might be the exact answer you were searching for. After all, are you ready to live by faith and experience the extraordinary?